It all started in 1965 when an economics student with the name Fred Smith in Yale University was given an assignment. He wrote an economics paper exploring the process of transportation of goods across United States. During his research, he found that most of the goods were transported either by means of truck or by passenger airplanes. Smith came up with a stupendous idea of having a single company to provide overnight delivery service of goods by planes across United States. He wrote a last-minute paper on the need for a system that would make logistics simpler for both the supplier and the customer. The funny thing, his professor was not quite impressed with his idea and graded him C for the assignment. The professor's response was, "The idea is interesting and well formed, but in order to earn better than a C, the idea must be feasible." Well, in that case, I would have switched to some other topic in order to earn better than a C. But this man strongly believed in his idea and was so desperate to bring it into reality that soon enough he went on to found the world's largest airline cargo carrier, FedEx, in 1971. In 1973, FedEx had $80 million in funding. But in the beginning, Smith found it very difficult to run the company without any profit. Things got so worse that FedEx was losing $1 million a month due to rising fuel costs and constantly less package volumes. FedEx was on the verge of bankruptcy. This billion-dollar company was left with just $5,000 in its bank account. Like any other founder, Smith tried to raise funding, but his request was turned down. What he did next is probably the boldest move by the founder of the company. That weekend, he took all the money and flew to Las Vegas. He gambled all those $5,000 and played blackjack. Monday morning, the management had a pleasant surprise lined up. The company had $32,000 in its bank account, which was just enough to run the company for a few more days. And during that crucial time, Smith raised an additional funding of $11 million, and now FedEx operates in more than 100 countries with an annual revenue of $50 billion and over 400,000 employees. One man dared to take a risk, and that paved way for 400,000 people to make a living. I wonder if Fred Smith had promised overnight success instead of overnight delivery service, the whole world would have invested in it, because all we seek for is overnight success. And this is why most people don't take risk and give up on their dream, just because of the time it will take to accomplish it. Doesn't it seem like we all rush through the years just to settle down before the age 30 and live the same year over and over and over again and call it life? There was this man who had settled down with a high-paid job. At age 30, he quit his job just to open an online bookstore. Believe me or not, that grew up to be the world's largest e-commerce company, Amazon. And now, Jeff Bezos is among the top 3 richest men in the world.
So what is the role of risk in life? Whatever it is that you want to do, there's going to be risk in your life. And risk is a necessary component of progress.
I don't think in the end anyone would look back on their life just to remember the nights they had plenty of sleep. In fact, the most common regret of people dying is, I wish I lived a life true to myself and not the life others expected of me.
We gotta risk everything. Great artists, Dylan, Picasso, Newton, they risk failure. And if we want to be great, we gotta risk it too.
I've never heard of a story worth dying for, but I do know stories worth taking risks for. And my appeal to the English dictionary is to change the meaning of risk from the possibility of something bad happening to the possibility of something worth learning. Because in a race where everyone wants to be a diamond, there are very few who are willing to get cut. And while you are on your journey, never make the mistake of looking at how far you need to go. Instead, look at how far you have come, because only those who risk going too far can possibly find how far it is possible to go.